I love Elvis, and so does Benny.
Welcome to Trivial Debates.
Just fucking read it.
Okay, I'm gonna read it like the thing at the beginning. Welcome to this week's edition of Trivial Debates.
Horrible reading of it. Of that. Just saying.
We're having some awesome new debates this week. Each week, our panelists will be judged and scored on their arguments for facts, passion, and creativity. I'm Dave Mader. Our panelists this week are Jody Simpson.
I'm Dave Mader. That's you, Dave.
And
I'm Dave Mader.
and Kevin Millard.
Hi, I'm Dave Mader.
And I'm also Dave Mader again.
You all wish you could be Dave Mader.
That's why we say it.
Well, we all wish we could be every title ascribed to this podcast, including...
I only have like 2 titles. Co-creator, which you happen to be the other co-creator, and there's a producer.
And master of the podcast.
Yeah, well, there's...
Well, now you get mixer operator.
Showrunner, you can call me that.
How this show works.
But I'm also contestant.
Chapter 2. How the show works. Page 5. Paragraph 1.
There are 6 rounds plus a speed round by our top 2 panelists. Movies, television, music, sports, history, and wildcard. We want people to be passionate about their arguments, but not personally mean to one another, or as much as possible, brackets.
Brackets? Like how you said that.
Keep in mind, you can also skip to a new debate by looking at the time indexes in the description below and going to the battles that interest you the most. Subscribe to our iTunes feed. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google, and Instagram. Whether you're listening on iTunes or watching the YouTube version, all links and information can be found in the description or at our website, www.trivialdebates.com.
He sounds like he's doing like the farmer's report, though.
You're going to do the whole show in that voice.
I don't see why not.
At least you stick with the character.
They're going to think I'm the voice of the Trivial Debate guy at the beginning of the show.
I don't think so.
I think we should just run
Don't
that.
sound like it?
Not really.
I think we should make him that, though. I liked it.
Might just go, welcome to Trivial Debates. Movies. What is the best film of 2015? So, quick question. Have you guys seen most of the films that are...
I've seen almost nothing.
Okay. That's what I figured.
You by my answer, that's what you
I saw the movie that I picked.
All of your answers, that's what I figured. Because you guys didn't really pick the best movies of the year.
No, I didn't.
Neither.
But I have a good
none of you
reason why
guys did. But yeah, that's what because I'm not leaning toward any of your movies because all of them are not my favorite. So we'll start with Jody. We'll see what was the best film of 2015 since it is New Year's Day.
It is New Year's Day. Happy New Year, by the way, everybody. Except for Dave Mader, because I don't have a credit to give him for that. The movie that I picked was Mad Max Fury Road. And the reason why I picked it because it kind of went back to the old school making of movies.
Right.
Almost all the movie was done with practical effects. So these are not, computer generated. They built every car that was driving around and in the deserts and all that, and just the explosions and everything. Like, it was just made more old school. Like, that's a movie that I actually, how you get like those behind the scenes like documentaries for movies on the DVDs. I think I'll actually like watch that one because I think it'll be interesting to see how they did a lot of the stuff. But basically, they tried to use no computer generated stuff. So right. they still had to do a couple things, I think, but like, guys getting stabbed and shit like that. But, overall, it was all just practical. And I think that takes, especially in this day and age when it's so easy to just digital process it and have a bunch of animators do it. I just think that takes a little bit of balls, and I think that earns a little recognition. And it also did pretty well in the theater.
What did you pick? Sorry, I did.
Jesus Christ, you stoner.
Wow.
Mad Max Fury Road.
It's like 2 minutes ago.
So the newest Mad Max movie.
Well, I was listening to him go on. I was like, I'll eventually figure it out, but I couldn't.
He did say practical effects like 10 times, but
lots of movies have practical
true.
effects.
His is about 80% apparently in the movie. Is
Yeah,
practical
it's
effects.
very, very low computer generated compared to even like romantic comedies nowadays have a lot of
Right.
CG in them, which is kind of sad actually.
Is that it? Or
That's it. Yeah. I'm good,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry, I was
okay.
just giving you a little bit of banter.
It's definitely a solid movie. Dave, I am Dave Mader. Hashtag.
Hashtag Dave
That
Bader.
should be a hashtag. I picked the Martian, starring Matt Damon. You could call it a castaway in space on Mars, where he has to survive all by himself after getting abandoned by his crew because they think he's dead. He's got to completely figure it out. He's completely working the camera all the time. You know, he has no one to talk to but his video logs, right? So it just makes it a kind of stellar performance that stands on its own. He has a little bit of interaction with other characters, but generally you're just watching him. And then you got a great supporting cast. You got Daniel Glover and the guy from Jeff Daniels, and so like the guy dies all the time. Ned
Bill
Stark.
Paxton?
Ned Stark.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
Sean
Sean
Bean?
Bean's in the movie.
He
ladies
doesn't
and
die.
gentlemen. He doesn't die.
Ah, spoilers, guys.
Spoilers.
He doesn't really. He's never really in threat. He's on Earth all the time.
Yeah. Well, I read the book. It was a good book.
The Martian. It's great. It's based on a great book. It's a great movie. It completely drew box offices in this year. It was very commercially successful. It was a critical success. It worked well. I think that you got people really excited about space again, which I think is important. I think space travel is the future of our species and our planet, and that's where we have to go. And I think The Martian helped bring
Is
back.
he running for office?
Yeah, I was gonna say JFK happened like 60 years ago. So.
Well, we need a new JFK, and his name's Barack Obama. He's saying we're going to space. Because
No,
I saw
he-
The Martian.
He cut NASA funding.
Wow.
Well, some young boy who's running for president is going to see that, and he's going to say yes.
Yeah, but what
I don't
about-
know
what
if
about
Trump's actually
Lost?
going to win.
What about Lost? How does it fit into Lost?
the show,
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah,
it doesn't fit into Lost at all.
it's
nothing to
kind
do
of
with
like
it.
Lost. You go to a mysterious place. You're by yourself. You're isolated.
It's
you
nothing
can't
like
get
Lost,
away.
other than you're like a shipwrecked person, maybe. But
Do they show him whacking off a lot? Because let's be honest, everybody that's at this table, if you're stuck on Mars for 4 years, you're whacking. Like you're whacking hard. Like you're gonna be the
Well, you
first.
got to do something.
You're gonna be like the first guy. You're gonna be like the first guy in history to whack off on another planet.
Like, do you have
know what I
anything to
mean?
do while you're there?
Well, he decides to take a shit in a bucket for like a month, and then he uses that for fertilizer
Yeah.
yeah,
because he's like a botanist.
and he grows potatoes.
He grows
wow,
potatoes.
that sounds fucking riveting.
Yeah.
Botanist on Mars.
But you know, it was very.
That's literally the movie.
It was very scientifically accurate, with a few exceptions. But
Because Dave's been stranded on Mars.
I watched
and for
documentaries.
4 years,
Okay.
and he grew his own potatoes, so he knows.
In that movie, like the spaceship leaves Mars without him, and then like at one point, NASA's like, "We have to make a decision. Will it turn around or won't it?" It's like, okay, we're gonna do it, but it's against the rules. And then they do it, and then they like zip back to Mars and pick him up or something. And it's like, wouldn't that take a really fucking long time?
it
Like,
does. It moves at the speed of plot, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a great space movie. You know, they
You know what's cool about my movie? You weren't bored watching it.
oh, I would be bored.
And I'll tell you right now, like I read the book for that movie. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't say how it was shot. I'm
I
sure
haven't
it's
seen it
beautiful.
I haven't seen your movie.
But when I
haven't seen Mad Max?
No.
Wow.
Neither have I.
you should see Mad Max. It's good.
Yeah,
Very
that-
good.
I hated the originals, so I don't know if I'm gonna like the new one.
Yeah, you probably still will though. They've kind of modernized it, got rid of a lot of the stupid stuff.
If you appreciate stunts,
So like the movie.
If you appreciate
Half of it anyway.
yeah, if you appreciate stunts and no plot, you
Stunts
like
and
it.
no plot.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty much a no plot movie.
Yeah, like really, honestly, the
fucking
plot is
awesome.
people chasing each other on vehicles, and then it's like, oh shit, now we got to go this way.
Even if you
And
just
then-
That's
watch
not
it.
much different from what I picked. So,
Speaking of which,
Okay,
what did you
Cameron,
pick?
What did you pick?
well, let me just say first that 2015 was a fucking terrible movie year.
Well, it had
I was
Star-
looking through the list.
It was okay.
Brutal.
wa-
No, it was brutal.
Was last year much better?
I don't know. I looked at this year.
well, you got to compare it to
I've barely seen any of them, but I picked Jurassic World.
yeah, yours was the weirdest pick for me.
Yeah.
I like Jurassic.
no one picked Star Wars.
I
No,
like
I thought
Jurassic
that would
World.
be. I thought
I didn't have a
I was
problem with
last
it.
in. and I thought somebody else.
My
would
pick
that.
would have been The Revenant, but that's
I've never.
I haven't seen it
technically-
yet.
It's not. It's technically a 2016 movie.
No, it's not. It's nominated for all the awards for 2015.
Yeah, but nobody's seen it.
Nobody's seen it. It's not commercially.
Doesn't come out until
I've
January.
seen it, so
I don't think it should count.
Well, you
It
saw
doesn't count.
probably
He's
a
the
cam.
host.
Right.
No, exactly. Screener.
We
You
won.
saw the screener?
Yeah, because
Oh, yeah,
it's out
because
for
of
the
the
awards. That's
No,
why.
I picked Jurassic World. It's the only one I wasn't really bored at, and I figured someone else would pick.
It's
Star
kinda dumb.
Wars.
The reason
So
why
are
I
the
didn't pick
originals.
Star Wars
I think
because
they're
I
all
thought
kinda
Dave would have been
dumb.
in there already.
It's
The Martian
for
was a
me,
good
Jurassic
movie.
Park is kind of like Star Wars, and I kind of like all the movies because I'm not really a fan of any of the movies. And this is the one movie that I saw where I wasn't bored. Yeah, there were lots of fucking shit they could have cut out of that movie, but it would have been like 45 minutes long. But
What, Jurassic World?
yeah,
Yeah,
but
like anything to do with the two kids.
Yeah, but it was it
The
was
two kids were
fun.
terrible.
It was kind of like
The first Jurassic Park.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
campy.
and it was
kinda
like
cool.
I would say it's like what you're describing Fury Road being, just kind of running and stunts and
It's a reboot.
whatever.
It's totally
just
a reboot,
done with
basically.
CG.
Okay, well, I haven't seen Jurassic World. I've seen the other two films.
Jurassic World was decent.
But
Most people hate it, but
Really?
I thought it was fine.
I liked it.
yeah.
mind
So
it.
most people that saw the movie told me they liked it, but I don't really like those type of movies usually. So, not that I don't think it could be the best of 2015 if it really captivates. Kevin makes a good point. Okay, so fight.
Their movies suck. My movie is good.
That's brilliant.
Opening statement. Just
that's pretty
opening.
good.
Why?
shots.
Why is yours good? Like I watched your movie. And
It's a brilliant movie. It's a great original movie. It will always be remembered as the 2015 movie.
It's a fucking
Your
botanist on Mars.
Dude, your
That does
fucking
not sound
opening
good at
argument
all.
for that movie was it's just like Castaway but in space. How is that fucking
Castaway
original?
is brutal.
Castaway is a good movie. Well
Oh,
said. You see the
Jesus
with
fucking
the
Christ!
fucking-
Tom Hanks can't even carry that movie. That's bullshit. That movie is fucking terrible.
Matt Damon did it.
But
Did it better than Tom
Wait,
Hanks.
what?
What? In what?
Everything.
Martian.
Well,
He's
but
talking
like,
about.
wait a
Martian.
second. Like, first of all, with Matt Damon, doesn't go kind of like crazy like Tom Hanks does in Castaway, and that's kind of what makes Castaway a good movie. He
Oh,
goes so
no.
nutso, and
Nothing makes Castaway a good movie.
no, it's a good performance. It's a decent performance. You
It's
know?
one
We're
of
not
those
talking about
movies-
Castaway, but I think it's a good movie.
But you
And
compared it directly to Castaway, so
I
that's
think
the
it's a
reason
good
why
movie.
it's come up.
I think it's a good movie. Jeff thinks it's a good movie, and a lot of people think it's a good movie.
I would say it's a great movie. It's a good performance. The movie's okay. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I've watched the movie once. I was never compelled to watch it again. You're talking to a fucking volleyball. All right.
Yeah, but like with Matt Damon's,
He doesn't have a
performance,
volleyball.
He never goes kind
He
of
doesn't
nuts,
grow
Like
grass
he
out of
never
a
kind
volleyball.
of.
He's only there a year.
He's even only there.
What are you talking about?
He's on Mars a year. The Martian.
Well, then they fucked that up because he was on there for 4 years in the book.
Okay, well,
But anyway.
I didn't know
Just
that.
a year? What a pussy.
Well, a year and then like 6 months to get there and 6 months to get back. So it was like 2 years all in
Yeah, it was like 5 years all in the book.
Please.
before he was back on Earth.
But anyway.
So
not only that,
A
but
year
also
in the
movie
life of
isn't
a
accurate to the book.
botanist.
Well,
Wow,
Jurassic
what an
World
awesome
was
movie that
Jeff.
is.
Jurassic World, whatever the fuck it was. I was so bored with this movie. I love the original, and I thought this movie was awful. It was a terrible sequel. It was.
It wasn't a sequel though. That's I don't know
Kinda
how
like,
you.
it's kind of like a reboot, isn't it?
It's
No,
a reboot.
it's a sequel.
It's a
Who-
reboot on the
who-
same storyline.
Who
but
from the original movies? It's not. It is a
the
sequel.
only person that shows up in that movie that was in the original Jurassic Park is the Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So then
exactly.
it is-
It's connected.
So then it is a sequel.
It's connected. It's connected because they had the
Yeah.
fucking Jeep in there.
They make
too, from the
reference to
original park.
characters from.
They make reference to
And
the
that-
original park.
Isn't
so-
Jurassic World like right beside Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
So it is
It's
a
near it,
sequel.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same island, Island Nublar.
Okay.
That's
Is-
where
is
that's
La
where
Nublar.
Newman got hit with the fucking ink and he died. He got eaten by the dinosaur shit. But his movie
Chris
has
Pratt carries that
genetically
movie.
engineered dinosaurs. Like it was so ridiculous. It was so silly. And then you got
Yeah, because bringing dinosaurs back to life from other genetic.
I know, but it
material
was like-
it's certainly not ridiculous.
it just has this.
That is less ridiculous than growing grass on Mars.
It just has this. It just has this sleaziness to it that is just like we're amping it up. We're getting way too colorful and like people just like dinosaurs. You don't have to like make them super dinosaurs and with crazy powers,
Right.
And then Bryce Dallas Howard's
Crazy powers.
Bryce
Just-
Dallas Howard's running around in those high heels fighting a Tyrannosaurus Rex or whatever, and like
she wasn't
it's-
fighting it; she was luring it.
whatever. It doesn't matter.
Jesus
It-
Christ!
you know,
Did you even see this?
I
movie?
saw the movie. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter what it was.
Like you do know there's dinosaurs in it, right?
I know there's dinosaurs.
Why is The Martian better than Mad Max Fury Road?
He doesn't know because he hasn't.
I haven't
it.
seen Fury Road.
He
but
probably doesn't
It
even
doesn't
seen
appeal
Mad
to me.
Max.
That whole franchise doesn't
Why?
appeal to me.
Well, like all right, just speaking from my personal experience, I hadn't even watched any of the original Mad Max. I just threw this movie on because it was one of the new movies.
You don't need to have seen the originals.
Oh no,
To
not
enjoy
at
that
all.
movie.
It's way.
It's a brainless movie.
I went
like-
back and watched the originals.
Did you?
Yeah, they're okay.
They're not all that great.
fucking
the,
terrible.
The stunts and stuff are really cool.
The stunts
It's
are
just like this movie.
The stunts are cool. In the original
that
movies.
goddamn first movie with the bad guy in it, the night
Oh, the night
crawler
guy.
or whatever the
Right,
fuck
yeah.
he calls himself.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What?
But you're also
That's not
talking
even acting.
You're
Like,
talking like the time period when campy action movies were
Yeah.
the rage.
Oh,
We're
they
not
were
talking-
all better than that.
We're not talking about
No,
those
I know.
movies. We're talking about Mad Max Fury
True
Road,
enough,
which is like it's like
It's a reboot-ish
it's
kind of thing.
kind of like
yeah.
a reboot. Yeah, it's set in
and
the
the
same
focus
world,
and the
but
focus really wasn't on Max. Like that's
it's on Charlize Theron's
it was on
character.
Charlize Theron's character, which I thought was an
It
interesting.
didn't look interesting to me. I don't know if it's any good, but like
You're gonna watch it and you'll be like, "Where's the story?" You
There's
know,
not
that's what
much
I
of a
felt,
story in
You
there.
know,
just
not
them
much of
running
a
around
story
in
at all.
cars, right? Like
It's-
they're on cars doing crazy shit.
It's a post-apocalyptic
Are they like
world,
playing
all
like
that.
a guitar that's spraying fire
There's
or
one
something?
guy who's spraying a
there's
computer.
lots of
It's dumb. It's just silly.
It's like almost
Yeah, because growing potatoes
It's
on
a-
Mars is awesome.
No, it's science, man. Like
It's
it makes people interesting going to space, which I think is important for our race, which I already covered in my earlier argument. And quite frankly, this movie is going to have more profound effect on the historical significance and the marker for 2015 than either of these movies. Jurassic World is a piece of shit. I don't care that it made
It's
so much
gonna
money.
have a 0.
And-
you
I've
realize
never
that
even heard of
Jurassic,
the thing.
Jurassic World is the second top-grossing movie of all time. Now.
Fury Road, whatever.
The only one that's beat it now is Star Wars, the new Star Wars movie.
Yeah, which no one picked. Which I thought
I was
picked.
going to pick, and then I
well,
decided not to.
I would say that the Star Wars movie is a lot like Mad Max because it's telling
It's
a
action,
story.
no filler. Yeah,
It's telling a story with pictures
Yeah.
mostly. I mean, the story is really
It's a-
like
it's
it
a
doesn't
pitch-
really
it's-
matter.
it's a picture book. It's definitely a picture book in
Right.
movie form, like for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't go in going, "This is going to be an epic Emmy award-winning film." No, it's fucking Mad Max. Like it's not going to be that, but it's going to be entertaining, and that's what a movie
But
is.
The
and
Martian
it could be
is a
that.
movie like that.
Mad Max is nominated for the Golden Globe for Best Picture, so
It does
none
actually
of,
have one,
None
yeah.
of your movies are nominated for drama. Martian, I think, is nominated for comedy or musical.
It's a great movie.
'Cause it's a comedy.
It's a drama. It's a comedy. It's everything in a movie.
It's everything.
It's everything, but I'm sure it does
And remember,
nothing well.
All right.
It's Castaway in space. They should have used that on
Do you
the.
have a ruling?
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
Hopefully, it's not Dave.
I'm gonna give this one to Jody.
Sweet.
I think he picked the best movie of Jurassic World. Come on. I haven't even seen
I
made
was
buttloads
looking,
of mi-
seriously, I was looking at all the movies, and I'm like, well, I've either not seen them or they were piles of shit. Like,
right. I haven't seen it, so I might
and
go.
Jurassic World was the only one I wasn't bored at.
Mad Max was fun to watch. It just you don't go in wanting a story because there's none there. Like it's a little tiny story at
Right.
best.
If you want to go watch like an art house kind of movie, then Mad Max is your movie. If you want to go watch Matt Damon crap in a bucket,
You go see The Martian.
Michael Pena's crap. He opens that.
If
up
you want to
and
go see dinosaurs with no assholes, you go see Jurassic World.
There you go.
So okay, all right.
They don't have assholes.
Well, not in that movie. No.
Really?
Yeah, that's what
There's some
Kevin
interesting
Smith's
trivia for you.
big gripe with the movie is that
No, they don't have assholes.
They don't got
no
assholes.
starfishes, eh? Unbelievable.
He was looking for him.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's like obsessed
Well,
with it.
apparently that's important to Kevin.
Yeah, he's like this isn't realistic.
what good are dinosaurs if you can't fuck them in the ass?
I just also want to point
Stick a
out
finger in there or
Saying
something.
they're eating stuff. It's got to come out somewhere.
before we go to the next round, I just want to quickly point out that Dave has purposely made his microphone stand
Taller than everyone
everybody
else's.
just so he can overcompensate.
This is just the level I like to talk at.
He likes to be up here.
He's
Above
like,
everyone.
I am Dave Mader.
Okay, so let's move on to TV. Because why not? We were just, being positive, saying what our favorite was. What was the worst TV show of 2015? And it could be an older show with the season this year.
Yeah, that's what I went for.
No problem with that. Sweet. But just tell me what the worst season this year was and why it sucks. Dave,
Well, you said it could be any show that's been going.
as long as it had a season this year.
I think it's the worst show, period. It was definitely the worst show of 2015.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Two Broke Girls.
It's written by Brittany.
I don't care who writes
Can't
it.
remember her name. It's
Whitney
terrible.
Cummings.
Whitley Cummings. That's it. Yeah.
Like, if you just listen to the laugh track alone,
Yeah.
Right.
I've seen it a couple times.
it is horrendously bad. This would not even have flown in like the 80s.
Oh, it definitely would have flown in the 80s.
Oh, it totally would have.
Oh, yeah. That's
Even
where
in
it
the
fits.
90s, you probably could have pulled that
That's
off.
where
in
it
the 90s.
fits.
They don't
Yeah.
earn it. Their jokes aren't funny. It's fucking weak sauce. And then they're fucking got this laugh track and woo and like
Are
even
you sure you're just not angry that they're not on the CW?
No, I'm sure about that.
Because that's where crap goes to die. is
I
the
like
CW.
what's her name, the brown haired girl. She's
Yeah.
in Thor.
Kate Dennings.
Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings. Kat
Kat Dennings. She got the big boobs, right? And she's in Thor, and she's funny.
got the big boobs.
She's got the big knockers.
She's got the big boobs, eh?
She got the big boobs in
I'm
on
saying
this.
she's not hard to look at, and she's she's funny and she's talented. So
And then they have the blonde girl, which I don't know her name, but she's really
She's a
terrible.
broke girl.
whatever, she's the other broke girl. You know what?
That have jobs.
They have jobs and the rent's only like $800. Like I don't get it. Like
Yeah, they bitch about everything, but yet they have no money.
the name of their show is a bitch about not having money, despite the fact that they live in New
But
York
the whole
City.
show is about them working.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they have like a cupcake.
Well, that's every
business or
show,
something.
though. Working or
Ah, that's true.
Making
one
bad jokes to
scenario.
each other,
Pretty much
talking
every
to their
sitcom, yeah.
boss who's always trying to like have sex with his
Yeah,
wife
the little
or
Chinese guy.
I don't know what the hell's going on. It's awful.
You've never seen this,
I
have
have
you?
seen it. I have seen just in
I have
passing.
seen every episode.
And this show is
Really?
Every
so
single
Kevin's
one.
a fan. He's going to argue against you.
This show should be banned.
Well, I can't say that it's a great show or anything.
It's not a
but
great
it's one
show,
of
but
those
it's not
ones that
bad.
I'll put on.
It's not as
just-
bad as my pick, I'll tell you right
Okay.
now.
This show should be banned. Banned.
Oh, I'll tell you a show that should be banned. But
And
when my turn comes.
I'm done.
Okay. I think the next up is Kevin. What
All
do you
right, I
got?
picked a show that probably none of you have seen except for maybe you, because Candace watches it. I picked Bloodline.
I haven't seen it.
What is it?
Bloodline.
No, I've never
It's a
seen it.
Netflix show.
Oh,
and
is
it's
it?
fucking brutal. It's a drama, and
You got to get closer to the mic.
you don't really know what it's about throughout the whole season. And there's a family and bloodline, and they're supposed to be interesting, and there's supposed to be like a lot of intrigue and angst, but you're just fucking bored through the whole thing. You realize everybody's
What's
boring,
the-
and you
what's
don't
the-
care what's going on.
What's
in
the
their
premise
life.
of the show, though? Like, is it
I have
like
no idea.
vampires or something?
I have no idea. No, there's no vampires.
It's just called
No,
Bloodline.
it's called Bloodline. It's about some rich family that's really boring. Like it's fucking terrible.
Sounds bad.
It is terrible.
And
And
my-
there's
and
somebody
my wife
dies.
watches
There's like
this?
a murder at some point, but you still don't care. Like it's. I can't even explain how.
So
fucking
Candace and
bad
Ash both
is.
watch this?
Ashley doesn't watch it. She fucking hates it too.
Oh, okay. So
But Candace said
if
she
Candace
really
watches
liked
it,
it.
then that makes sense. Because I think she also watched The Flash.
But it's
The Flash is a fucking great show. Shut up.
The series focuses on the lives of the Rayburn family, which owns and runs a beachside hotel in the Florida Keys. When the oldest son and black sheep of the family, Danny, returns home for his parents'
Danny.
celebration of their 45th year running
Must be an Italian.
Rayburn house and the scheduled dedication of a pier in their name, he quickly causes turmoil against the clan.
I already don't care.
Who
so
Yeah,
much.
you
have
don't
a
care,
dark
right?
past.
Wow.
brutal.
When Danny gets caught up in the criminal world, he threatens to bring down his entire family and their
You know what the
lives.
best thing
I'm
about
more
that
interested
entire...
in it now after listening
After
to
listening
Jeff
to him say
do
it,
that,
yeah.
but watch an episode.
That's what I was
forget it.
about to say. I'm like, now it sounds kind of
It's-
intriguing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be intriguing. They're all supposed to be interesting, and they're all boring as shit. Every character.
Well, the fact that none of us have heard of it
Yeah.
means it's probably boring as shit because we would have went, oh, here's this new show? No. Netflix maybe is just...
Yeah, if anybody, it would have been this asshole.
It's a Netflix show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe the...
Well, like Netflix, to me, everyone loves Netflix. I don't
they
think
do
it's-
some fucking great.
They do some great shows, but they do some really bad shows.
Yeah,
Oh, they do a lot of bad
They do
shows.
everything.
But, you know,
everything
the
that comes their way.
quality
they're like,
over
yeah,
quantity.
We'll pay for that.
You know, I
They
think
do they do quantity over quality. I think.
I don't know about that because I would say if I'm going through Netflix and I see like a Netflix original show,
I'll
there's a
usually
good
give it a
chance I'm
try.
going to give it a try.
Yeah.
Whereas like 3/4 of the fucking shows that are coming on that you see the promos for in fall, next week will be premiere of this show. 3/4 of those I wouldn't even attempt to watch.
Yeah.
And then occasionally I might hit one kind of like Dave does where he hits one show.
Like The Flash.
Well, no.
Flash is a great show.
if it doesn't get a second season, I'm not in. That's the way I look at
Yeah.
it. I mean, if it...
And for Netflix, that probably makes sense because Netflix cans them pretty quick if they're shit.
Right.
Like they kind of.
Yeah, I'm not even going to pay attention until like season 3.
Unless it's a show like Narcos that like
Yeah.
you kind of stumble upon, you watch the first episode, you go, I like this. And
Dude,
then
there's
you
been-
have
I like the show.
I've been burned
I
by
watched
too
all of
many
it already.
shows that I've started watching and then they cancel it. Like after
That's
2
because you
Because you like
constantly watch
crappy
the
shows.
CW.
No.
If you would tune into something other than the CW, you'd be fine.
Supernatural's
No,
going
Jordan.
on to like season 35, so
Yeah.
like
It's still a chick show, but anyway.
They don't cancel that one though.
Yeah, that's true.
Who are we on to? Jody.
Jody.
To me now?
Yeah, what'd you pick?
What piece of horse shit do you got?
Oh, I got a big turd of horseshit. So bad that it got canceled this year. Finally, thank fucking God. 2.5 Men. That fucking show is terrible.
That was still on this year?
That was still, oh wow.
Still on. Not only is it
Was
still on.
it a 10th year or how many years did that go?
Honestly, I don't know.
It went like 7 Charlie Sheen years and like 3 Ashton Kutcher years.
3
or
Ashton
something.
Kutcher years. Yeah, number one, the show itself without Charlie Sheen tanked horribly. Some of the episodes were kind of funny before that, but the last couple of years where they have fucking Ashton Kutcher in there and he plays like this millionaire guy or something.
I watched the first
I honestly
episode.
didn't get through most of it.
Yeah,
I actually tuned into
As
the
far as I
series.
understood, it was John Cryer and Ashton Kutcher ended up gay at the end and married each other.
Well, that sounds just about right for that show.
I don't
so.
know if that's
I
accurate.
believe that's how it ended.
I don't know.
At least I was told
I
that
don't know.
I don't know.
at a gas station.
But the good news is you just explained that, and if that is true, it's even more terrible.
Who the
because-
fuck's telling you that at a gas station?
Dave. Dave will just talk to everybody.
If you see the
Like, I was over at the Esso.
Some fucking
pumping some
drifter at the
gas.
gas station.
it was a Sunoco.
There was a grifter, and he decided he was going to talk to me about shows on the CW.
started squeezing my windshield and said, "Hey, have you seen the 2.5 Men finale?"
Just walked
So
up
anyway,
and he's like, "Hey, have you?"
But this show is fucking terrible. It was terrible. It wasn't great to begin with. It got worse when Charlie Sheen left. And the season finale, they even played on the fact that they fired Charlie Sheen. Like, how fucking less classy can you get? Okay, they can the guy, yeah, he's a fucking asshole, whatever, okay? But
Well, you can get a little less classy. You could be Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
true enough. But he's winning, damn it. He's winning.
I don't know.
But
I don't know about that.
But the show itself was just terrible to the point that like most of the major people were out of it. Like the kid, I can't remember his name, Angus something. He left the show as well. He's like, "Fuck this. This is shit." And a couple of the other majors also left as well.
He's like super religious. He's like, "I'm going
Yeah.
to find God. I'm done with
Dude,
all
if
my
you had
millions
to-
of dollars."
honestly,
you know?
if
Him and
you-
Kirk
if you
Cameron
had to-
are having gay Christian
if you had to work with
sex,
Charlie Sheen for 7 fucking years, there's a good chance you would need to go find God. Let's be honest here,
I'm
because
sure on like an acting basis.
diseases
it
alone
would-
you could have just got from the fucking seat you sat with him on.
fair enough, but just from an acting point of view, I'm sure it wouldn't have been that bad. I think it's more personal if Charlie
I think
Sheen
it's
was
a personal
crazy.
thing,
you
Yeah.
know.
So, but either way, it was just a terrible show. They added characters to trying to like sub like Charlie's like daughter from some affair that he had ages ago shows up and she starts living with them, and fucking John Cryer is a fucking annoying to begin with. So like giving him 10 years of play is just even worse. But they finally canceled the fucking show. They canceled it. The season finale was making fun of basically firing him. They killed Charlie again, and then they killed the producer of the show at the same time. So it was like, we're trying to be funny, but it was just brutal to watch. And I watched it just so I could get some closure, so I could kind of basically give my finger to the TV and go, "Fuck you! I never have to see you again, except for in syndication, you sons of bitches." That kind of thing. But it was just a terrible, god awful fucking show. Your show still does very good ratings, and let's be honest,
I don't understand why.
I don't totally understand
but
either.
on the same note, like 2.5 Men got a ton of viewers for no.
Not in the last 4 years.
Well, they still get a lot, like millions of people. Like
Even the last season that Charlie Sheen was on did terrible ratings, but they kept it on.
terrible compared to what they were doing, but
in
It's
both
still
your
better than
shows,
what
at
most
least
of it.
you might be in for a laugh or two. In
that's-
my show, you want to kill yourself after watching this for
See, I don't know because I haven't seen
it's
it. But
fucking terrible. Like you just
Jeff
want
made
it
it
to
sound
be
awesome.
over.
Like to me, this comes down to like between me and Jody's show because Kevin picked like an obscure show. Like you could find like the biggest piece of horseshit TV show at any given time. Like
Well, that was the question.
the
worst.
the worst. But you got
Of this year.
I think there's a certain amount of.
I'd just like to say I'm not on his wavelength here.
I think
it's a legitimate pick.
just
and
let me
I don't know
make
why.
my point. I just think that there's a certain level of relevancy that's needed before you can even be in the conversation.
Well, that's not totally inaccurate, I guess. Yeah. That's true.
Okay.
But my show was fucking terrible. It was so bad to watch.
Your show was the number one show.
It was at one point.
It was the number one show
Absolutely,
on
it
TV.
was. Yeah. At one point.
Kevin's show, no one knows exists. Except
Except Candace, apparently.
That doesn't make it
but to
relevant.
be fair, Candace has probably watched 3/4 of the content on
And-
Netflix
and-
at this point.
And Dave's show is watched by every teenage girl for some reason, and nobody knows why.
It's there like
Well, we know that's why Dave Mader watches
like
it.
what well yeah like there were shows there were shows
the teen girl demographic really goes for Dave.
there were shows that
Which
were on
matter?
when we were younger that we watched and we look back and go those were terrible, but we watched them anyway.
Yeah, Elf was terrible.
Yeah, there was
but
lots
it
of
was
bad
funny
shows,
back then, but it's
right?
terrible to watch now.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, what's the worst thing about your TV show?
It's supposed to be a drama, and it's boring. It just doesn't. It tries and it fails on every.
Okay, Dave, what's the worst thing about your TV show?
It's supposed to be a comedy and it's not funny.
You get a laugh out of yours.
You get a laugh out of
Yep.
yours. I've seen it a couple times.
From
You
who?
get a giggle.
well, these
wow.
guys saying
I've laughed at a couple of the jokes.
Are you come on, you're smarter than this.
I am smart.
All right, Jody, what's the worst thing about your TV show?
The cast, it's fucking terrible.
The cast, well, like the new cast,
The
or-
newest part of the cast.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's
And the reason why it's now canceled.
That's,
Yeah.
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 Okay. So
John Cryer's terrible to begin
John
with.
Cryer's a good actor.
it's
He's
between,
a good actor, but that show just makes him out to be a total douche.
it's between Kevin and Jody.
Ah, Dave.
Dave,
His show's not relevant.
his show.
Oh, then I guess I
He's
win.
made more of a point of why his show's bad. They actually said they kind of knocked it down. They said they've laughed at that show quite a few times. No one's laughing.
They're fucking retarded.
No, it's-
clearly, like that isn't.
Well, I didn't say I wasn't stoned or anything. I'm just. I'm
you
just
laugh
saying
at
I've
the
got to
show?
laugh at
I've
it.
watched it a couple times. It's one of those shows where I go, "Why does this exist?"
Exactly.
Oh, me too. I don't.
But they get a laugh out of it. Like, come on.
But does it make you want to kill yourself?
No.
There you go.
So,
made
is your show been? What's it called? Like a Bloodline?
Bloodline.
Well, has your show been extended?
I'm not sure.
I think this was season 2 this year.
It's season 1. There
was
was only
se-
one season.
Oh, I think it has been extended. And your show
Okay.
was canceled.
Mine was canceled this year. Yeah.
Will your next season?
Well, last year,
Will the
technically.
next season be worse than this season?
I'll never find out because I'll never fucking watch it.
Okay.
It's
I can't watch mine because it
it's-
doesn't exist
it's-
anymore.
Well, you can watch it and it'll be there forever in
But I
syndication.
It's
in your
hard to
face.
believe.
That's true. It'll be in syndication.
It's hard to believe that they could do a worse season.
The only thing that I can say that would make mine worse is the fact that it had a much grander scale of people to be able to see it.
So there's a chance for his to improve. There's
Right.
no chance for his.
Well, his is done.
Mine
his,
can't improve.
His went like 10 seasons and it
And it
died.
slowly declined.
It died like a really. It's like you shot like a cow.
They shot it and
Yeah.
it bled for a
and
while.
it bled for 3 years.
Yeah.
I have to give it
relevant.
to Jody. I wanted to give
Oh,
it to
look at
Kevin,
that.
but I have to give it to Jody.
Oh man, I got 2 in a row already.
Jeff, you used to be good at this. What happened?
I think Jeff's fantastic. At
Of course
this.
you do.
But I say that even if I lose. Jeff is a very good host. I like him.
Music, round 3.
Ding ding ding.
Dave did a ding 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 kind of like thing there, and it was
Yeah, it was like
funny.
ding ding ding.
So music, what city has the best music scene to visit? If you could go to one city and go check out like a bunch of random concerts, or just go like visit museums about music, which one would you go to? And this time we're starting with Kevin, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, I picked Memphis because it's the home of blues and rock, and I would love it. You go down there, you've got Graceland to go visit. You've got multiple rock and roll or blues halls of fame down there. And but the thing that I really liked, what I'd really like to go and do in Memphis is just go up and down and find the blues bars and just sit in the fucking blues bars. You get the idea, like it's like a smoky
Right.
bar, you're having a fucking whiskey and just listening to some great music, some great independent artists and whatnot. Yeah. It's so that's the best part of it. You've got all that other shit to look at. You got
Beale Street, I think, is like the main road, right?
yeah, and it would be awesome. That's
Okay. I've never been there, but
neither have I.
I gotta check it out. Jody.
Hey, but I picked New York City. New York, obviously.
Why?
The state as well.
No, there's lots to do there, not pertaining to music, but pertaining to music.
I would disagree a bit, but you have Brooklyn, which has some of the greatest music recording studios that are around. I was also looking at like the performance type as well. You have a lot of Radio City Music Hall. You have all those different venues that are known for acoustics as well. So when you're talking about a music city, to me, it's not just who they come from or the style of music, but also how you get to listen to it, how it's performed. around. And New York is by far one of the greater destinations when it comes to recording studios, as well as, so I'm kind of looking at it from all aspects, I guess, like not only just the artist, but also, the making of music as well.
And like, well, you got just as like to visit, you can't go visit like Electric Ladyland in New York, can you? Like,
they do tours and stuff, but
Really?
no, I don't think you can, like, you can't just walk around.
can't
it.
just
You
go knock on the door and be like, hey.
No, but you also have like,
Well, if
you
you
can,
do that voice, you're not getting in.
yeah, but like certainly like the way Kevin said, talking, you can do the kind of sit around and listen to some great music, and I think you can do that even in greater quantities in New York because of the variety that's available. There's tons of variety in Orleans and all that, and your pick, which was Memphis, right? You get a lot of good stuff there, but I think from also the producing of music, I think is also important as well, and that's kind of where I kind of went as well.
Okay, Dave.
I picked another Tennessee town,
Nashville.
Nashville. What really stuck with me when you asked the question was, like, a lot of people go places and come back and tell me about these places. And the one that stuck out of my mind was Nashville, because you went there, parents went there, a bunch of people went there. They said it was the greatest music city ever to visit, because there's like every street has bars.
Had they ever been to Memphis before?
I haven't. But they went to Memphis. They went to Memphis at some point during that
they
week.
did.
Yeah.
You got a lot of country music. It's obviously the capital of country music, but it's also just all music, and it's one of the greatest recording cities in America.
See, when I think all music in Tennessee, I think Memphis. I don't think
No,
Nashville. Nashville to me is
Nashville-
country.
yeah, it's
that's all it
country.
is.
It's country rock. You go there, it's a lot of rock music.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a lot,
And that's not how you think of it, though.
No.
No, I think country.
but that's what it is, and that's when you go there and you can experience all this music: blues, country, rock, soul, every kind of music you could ever imagine, because there's everyone there trying to make it. It's like Hollywood
Soul would definitely
And
be
pop.
Memphis.
It's very. There's a lot of
Totally
pop.
Memphis.
and a lot of pop people.
I
too.
mean, there's like 4 fucking rock and soul or blues and soul museums in fucking Memphis.
Right.
That's where you
What's
think
in
of
Nashville?
that. I don't know, the Grand Old Opry.
Grand Ole Opry. Like,
It's not good that he's giving you his.
What-
your
what-
answer.
oh, he's just faster.
Do you know any more of them though?
Like stuff in Nashville.
Yeah. Is there famous recording studios in
There's tons
Nashville?
of famous
Dixie
recording
Chicks,
studios.
Okay, well, why is yours better?
Why is mine better?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really care. It's it comes down to it's a good city.
Fucking Memphis is the heart and soul of blues and rock. That's where it's made. That's where it's always been made, and that's where the history is made.
I just
And
wanna
that's why
go-
it's better.
I think the two cities
visit that kind of a
I think
place.
the two cities have a certain connection, even though they're pretty far apart. They're like 4 hours apart.
It's like a 3-hour drive.
They're pretty
or
far
something,
apart
I
in
think.
relevance too.
Yeah.
No, I think that they both contribute to one another, because they're all part of, like, musicians travel from town to town.
I'll tell you right now,
And
between
towns-
those two, Memphis tributed more to fucking Nashville. I can tell you right now.
I think that they're connected. I think that they have a relevance to a whole bunch of musicians who have played in both cities. But I think Nashville trumps it as more of the recording destination, and where you're going to
Yeah,
hear
but you're trying
more.
to visit. You're not going to record.
No,
you're
I
going
know,
to
I
visit.
know. You're going to visit, and you're going to hear more new music, because there's going to be more of that in Nashville than in Memphis.
But what if you don't want to hear more new music?
Well, then go to just stay at home and listen to CDs. But like, if you want to go out and
CDs, Jesus.
or your MP3s or whatever you got, it doesn't matter.
Pull out the 8-tracks, guys. I got some. I'm Dave Bader.
If you're one of the new musicians, you're probably gonna be in Nashville playing a club, trying to make ends meet, and you're gonna be discovered there by a lot of local people who are just visiting that city because it's such a destination. Go see the Grand Ole Opry, see all this musical.
So what you're saying is,
heritage.
if there's talent, it will be taken
like
away.
without Elvis, Memphis would be nothing. I think.
Really? Well, I don't know about that.
Without what?
Without Elvis,
Tons of
I don't
soul
think Memphis.
music.
Without Elvis, I don't think Memphis.
There's a lot of soul music.
I think
that
with
came out of there.
Memphis, it's more like it's kind of like the bridge between New Orleans and Nashville. It's like got all the blues and it's got all like that jazzy, kind of stuff.
That's a
going
neat
on there.
analogy, actually. I like that.
And Nashville's like it's basically become the country pop factory, right? Like that's what pumps out all those.
Pumps
country
out
all
songs.
crap that nobody
Yeah.
wants to really
all,
listen
all
to.
kinds of music, everything.
And when you're in Nashville, it's like, you know, you walk around and from bar to bar, like one bar will be playing Garth Brooks and then the next bar will be playing Hank
Well, right there, I
Williams.
win. Garth Brooks.
It's weird. And then one band will, and then the next one will be playing Nickelback, and then you'll be like, what the, you know?
You're not selling me.
Yeah, not at
I'm
all.
just telling you what it's like, and then but everyone's into it, so everyone, like, it doesn't really matter because everyone likes
that's
it.
true.
Whether we like it or not doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think Memphis is just going to be a better experience. It's you're going to get more what I would consider anyway real music. Like I'm not a fan in any way of any of those bands you just mentioned,
Right.
because they're all just generic.
Of course, but that's what Nashville is, right?
But,
and
yeah.
Memphis is more like the refined, historic.
I just think if you want to visit a city between Nashville and Memphis, Nashville is more of a destination for everybody.
Why is that?
For it's just more appealing to all kinds of people. Like there's something for everybody in Nashville. I think Memphis caters to a more select certain type of person. Like just there's more demographics filled in Nashville.
What can you go and do in Nashville that you can't do right fucking here? Listen to Garth Brooks. Oh, I can do that right here. I just choose not
Grand
to.
Old Opry.
Meh.
Graceland.
The Grand Ole Opry,
Right.
you know, it's like going. Nashville
yeah,
has a lot of museums. The Country Music Hall of Fame's there. It's got a lot of museums.
Who isn't? So does fucking Memphis.
Yeah.
Tons of museums.
Yeah,
they got-
and,
so they're
and
equal.
Who doesn't want to go see Graceland?
They're
I'm not even an Elvis fan. I'd kind
I'd
of like
still
to
wanna
go
see
see
it.
Graceland.
I love Elvis, and so does Benny.
Great. That was completely irrelevant to anything we're
I'm
talking
glad that we
about.
stopped the podcast for a second just to say that.
I gotta give Kevin the point.
For sure. Wow, Dave.
I love Elvis, and so does Benny.
You know what we should have?
And I should win the point.
We could have an entire episode of just clips from previous episodes of Dave randomly saying shit. And it would be like 30 minutes long. It would be like a little special.
and then we gotta do all the clips of whoever's host going, and I can't give you the point, Dave. And the point goes to this person.
And I wanted to give it to Dave, but no. I can't give it to Dave.
Yeah, I wanted to give that one to Dave, but it was
There's been a lot of times that I've wanted to give it to Dave.
Kevin took him down.
Guys just don't have the courage to do it.
Courage. Why don't you put your mic stand up taller? They're a big guy.
No way.
Yeah.
This is where it goes.
Where it goes.
This is where it goes. That was
Goes there, right Chris. here.
That was oddly dirty. Okay, sports. What was the best version of an international tournament, specific year and why? And it could be any sport. It could be any year, any reason. Jody.
I believe I picked the 2005
Is that the
World Juniors.
Is that the
That's the Crosby year, yeah.
Crosby year,
The
yeah.
Crosby year.
Because they just dominated? Is that what?
Well, the thing that actually made it even more interesting was the fact that there was a lockout happening in the NHL, so nobody
Right.
was watching NHL. So the only hockey that they could really watch was the World Juniors, which also increased the viewership of it as well.
Right.
And I think if you look back, especially people who love hockey, if you look back, you don't really hear about the World Juniors until about then. And now it's like it's a big deal. Like TSN has it on and all that shit now, where they didn't really have.
That's
much
because
of it.
that's all TSN gets. That's what
Well, yeah, they're losing pretty hard now. But overall, it was a great year. You know, we won, and on top of that, are you okay, Dave?
I'm just stretching.
Oh, I thought you were passing out. He looked like he was about to be off the floor. I thought it was just
no
making it
black
really-
velvet here.
Yeah, no black velvet, if you please. But it was a good year. A lot of great talent came out. You know, Crosby obviously and many others. And just overall, it was an exciting game to watch. Games to watch. And on top of that, it got massive viewership. And I think it actually also popularized the tournament even more because people basically were forced to watch it if they wanted to watch hockey because of the lockout, right? So I think overall it was great. And I really enjoyed it, and it was cool to see, especially all the talent that you now see in the NHL. A lot of that was on those teams back then, just because of the lockout. So you had a lot of better talent out there than you would normally have.
They had Bergeron and Panoff was on the team.
Patrice, or not Patrice. Was it Patrice?
Patrice Bergeron, yeah, was on
Yeah.
the team, and
Yeah.
they had a lot of good players on that team for sure. Jeff Carter.
Yeah.
I'm really bored right now.
That's because you don't like hockey.
But
Damn, I like
sucks.
hockey.
That was the most
This-
dominant
this-
team. It wasn't super exciting for the games, probably only
No, some of the games
because
were really
they
fun to watch.
Well, they didn't kill like every game.
They didn't kill every game, but every good game they definitely did for sure.
You guys
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
like put on the Fan Fight 90 like late at night, and there's this guy named Pharrell that does CBS radio, and
No.
it literally sounds like he's smoked like 1,000 pack of cigarettes that day. He's like,
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about, but Fidel sucks. Let me tell you, like I can't even do it. That's not even close to how bad he is.
but he's like that. He's very scratchy. He's on late at night. They call. He's like Pharrell. He's
Yeah.
like, you're listening, Pharrell, brother.
Yeah, listen, Pharrell, and I'm gonna get my throat out next week, so I'm gonna retire.
Wait, thanks for calling in, Susan.
Just out of curiosity, why are we talking about this?
It just popped in my
Also irrelevant. It must run in the Mader family.
It's a Mader family.
It popped in my
trait.
mind, and it just made me think as we're listening to each other, like, how does that guy like people are like, I want to listen to that guy's voice, you know?
Well, I don't think anybody's tuning in to listen to our voices. Well, maybe Dylan.
My voice is pretty nice. I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Well,
Yes, Dave Mader, yours is nice and your microphone's the biggest. Okay. Can we move on now? Jesus Christ! Should we get you a mirror so you can start kissing it?
Do you want to hear my answer?
Not really.
Oh no!
let's do it.
Let's hear it.
Maybe it'll be like the Mallrats, you know, the national.
God, I hope not.
No,
National 2012. That was the best.
that was an international tournament. Okay, I picked.
Sure it was.
Sure it was.
There's-
U.S., Canada.
Whatever. Okay,
We got a Brit now. We can be international.
Sure, we can. Okay,
And
1980.
he likes Elvis.
And he likes Elvis. Which, by the way, lived in Memphis. Can you finish? Yes, you can.
Go ahead.
All right, Dave.
I haven't even started.
What tournament did you pick?
I thought you did.
Fuck.
Dave, you got to get on the ball, buddy.
1987 Canada Cup.
Canada Cup. That was a good year.
The last time it was called the Canada Cup.
This is true.
And this was the team had Gretzky and had Lemieux. The only time they ever played together on a Canadian team. It was considered one of the greatest hockey tournaments ever played in terms of
Who
skill.
called it the greatest?
Like
Like
sports
who?
writers.
Sports writers.
Yeah.
That pretty much.
How would you let me give it through my answer? How about that? Okay, here we go. So 87.
That's not my style.
They really like busting your.
It was before the Iron Curtain came down, right? So it was still the Red Army team, right? It was the last time that kind of really played in an international tournament against like NHL players of that kind of a sort, you know. And it was just an amazing tournament where you know, you had all the best talent in the world going at it. You had these two icons, Gretzky, Lemieux, and also Messier, and a whole bunch of other great players on that team, and they just completely dominated. Gretzky, Lemieux, Gretzky scores, you know, and just like going on there. The blue shorts it was amazing.
So you like their wardrobe. That's what made the
That
tournament
uniform, I think that particular uniform and that year and that particular like vibe and atmosphere is just one of the most iconic moments in hockey. And I think
When were you born?
83.
Okay.
So it was 4.
Yeah.
So, but you know, like just looking back on the history of it, I think this is the moment.
Okay.
This is the moment.
I'm dying to hear yours.
I'm done. Go on to Kevin.
Oh God, I'm glad you're done. All right, let's go.
775 BC, the very first Olympics.
I wasn't there.
Was it international?
Yeah, every one of those, the nation states were and it's a version of an international tournament. So the Olympics is international. Yes,
The original?
the Olympics is an international.
I thought it was just Greeks
the Olympics is just Greeks,
originally.
The original one wasn't it?
but a version of an international tournament.
Are you talking about the first Olympics, as far as
The
like
very
the new
fucking
first Olympics?
No, the very first.
That was not
Well, then
international.
that's like a Greek.
That's a Greek thing.
Unless you're
But it's a
considering
version. The question. Look at the question. Version of an international tournament.
Oh,
The
he's kinda there.
Olympics is an international tournament.
But was it when it first started?
Doesn't
Didn't
matter.
say that on the
it's
question.
a version of an
Well,
international tournament.
then-
Look what it started.
wait,
It
wait.
started an international.
That's semantics.
tournament.
That's kind of like semantic argument, because like if it's not, that's like saying like if a tournament was founded and wasn't international and then was almost refounded later and then became an international tournament, you can't almost argue like the one that wasn't an international tournament is now. You know what I mean? Like, does that make any
And
sense? there?
Greece was a bunch of.
I
nation
agree.
States.
I'm okay with him arguing it.
Greece
quite
was a
honestly.
bunch of nations.
argue it.
He found a technicality of the question.
I want to
I'm
hear
okay
the
with it.
specifics
Yeah.
about what happened at this event. What
I have no
countries
idea
won
what
the most
happened.
medals?
I have no idea what happened.
He loses.
But the reason.
Look at this cockiness.
The reason.
He's got that smug little pucker on him.
I have 2 reasons why I picked this.
All right.
3 actually.
Dave Mader sucks. That's
I
4.
have no idea what happened in
Right, no
any fucking international tournament ever.
I can
in
testify
any
to that.
year. So I had to pick something.
Ever? You don't know like Canada won
He
gold?
doesn't. He
and,
doesn't know anything
Yeah,
sports.
but I don't know enough to.
You're not really
I
a
wouldn't
sports
even
guy.
know. Not at all.
No. We
I
got
don't
him
understand how
we
he
got
went.
him to play hockey
reason,
though.
The reason I picked this one is because look what it started. Look what it started. It started the biggest international tournament in the world.
Well, that's true. It definitely started.
So why didn't you pick that?
He did.
Because I had to
He picked
pick
a version of
specific
it.
year. Read the fucking question.
But what year did you pick?
The first
774
one,
BC.
774 BC.
774
The
BC.
first fucking one.
2 or 3,000 years ago, basically.
Pretty much.
Great.
Give or take.
And I picked it because of what it started and because I want to see some fucking chariot races. They had chariot races.
That's true. Chariot races.
and
would
not
be the
these
shit.
fucking jockeys
also
behind
had-
a fucking horse. I mean fucking chariot races.
They had slaves and they had all kinds of horrible shit. Like, it was bad times.
Lots of places have had slaves, and it does.
You do
it's
know
not-
you just talked about the Red Curtain Army and all
It's not
that, right?
slavery. It's not the same thing.
Yeah,
It doesn't
communism
matter
at
if
a
it's
grand
slavery.
scale.
It doesn't fucking matter. It has nothing to do with the question. Again, irrelevant.
Ooh,
Completely
oh, he's
irrelevant.
bringing it.
That's all.
You hear that, Jeff? He's bringing it.
That's all I'm going to say. Your quips now, Kevin, is irrelevant when you tear up my stuff.
Yeah, but mine are relevant. You will be wrong.
I do kind of see Kevin's point that the version that the Olympics created became the greatest international tournament.
Right.
And it didn't specifically say in the question that he had to pick
And
something that was
the
active.
idea from that first tournament was
It's a
was
technicality, but
to bring warring countries or nation states together, at least for that time. And that's
Yeah.
still what it's supposed to be about. It's not really.
No.
It's more commercial now.
No, it's about money.
Yeah, but that's what it's supposed to be about. That's what they always say it's about. So that's what it started. That's why it's the best. It's the greatest.
Okay.
And chariot races.
Debate.
It sucks. It's not even an international competition. He doesn't know anything about it. And, like, whatever. His thing,
yours
Dave's getting surly.
Junior hockey? Are you fucking out of your mind? Like,
Junior hockey.
Junior hockey with
Who
happened
cares?
To be, happened to be some of the
Somebody's
greatest
gonna
talent
win.
we
It
now
might as well be
have.
us, I guess.
Some
you
of
know?
the greatest talent we now have.
Oh, whatever. Like,
We got to see them before they were.
oh, great.
And on top of that, we won.
Yeah, that was nice. That was
Mine
it-
is more relevant.
It was a warm story for that moment. It was
than
not.
either of
I would
yours.
not herald it up as the greatest international tournament that ever took
I will.
place.
I will actually. I have to commend Kevin.
Are we
because
saying greatest? Because mine wins greatest.
Best. It says best. What is
Best?
the best version of an international tournament?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a toughie.
I think it's the Canada Cup. I think it was like the whole idea, the whole concept behind the Canada Cup was this tournament that
play
Canada
some
was hosting.
hockey?
Canada is the place of hockey, and this is where we come in.
Where was the Canada Cup held?
Here in like Hamilton and like Toronto and like all this around this area.
And where was 2005 World Juniors held?
it was either Norway or
it was in Europe.
It
Jesus.
really wasn't here?
I think it was Norway, but it might have been Sweden.
No, Norway wouldn't get it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So Jody is saying that the
Well,
World
it
Juniors was
changes
the
every
best
time,
because
right?
no one else had anything to watch, so they had to watch this. Dave is saying
Kind of.
that no, that's pretty much what
I
he
think it was a
said.
good moment for 2005. That's it. Like,
I don't
that's-
understand. What? Explain to me the Canada Cup again. Why is it
Now,
actually relevant?
Why is it more important than anything else? Like, you know,
I think just because if you love hockey, which I do, and I think most of us do,
but it's why is it like?
I think it doesn't exist anymore. It's gone, and that was the last time we ever had it too. I think that gives
but
it.
it's coming back in the World Cup. That's the same thing.
But the
right?
World Cup's not the same thing. The Canada Cup was a different idea. The Canada
it was so great that they never
the
did it again.
Canada was basically like saying like
No, they
Mine was
stopped
so
it that
great
year.
they still do it today.
come play us, right? And this is the only time of the year or any time ever these players who are in the Soviet team, they can't come over to the NHL, right?
Right.
So this is the only time where we get to see them play. And this is it. And Canada's like, "Hey, let's put it on the line." But it's not like the Summit Series where it's just two teams. You got everybody in it, right? So everyone's playing the round robin. You got Sweden, you got Finland, all these countries gaining this amazing hockey experience from being
so
involved.
amazing they never did it again.
Mine's still on.
No,
by the
well,
way.
because the NHL got involved, the NHL ruined it, and NHL wanted to make it a World Cup, and they tore it up, and they it was dumb. It was Batman. It was all Gary Bettman and all his bullshit. But that's not the point. The Canada Cup well existed in the '80s, especially with Gretzky, Lemieux, and this great moment.
all people that we've seen before, and we knew what to expect out of them.
No, I don't think we did. I didn't think.
Oh, absolutely. We knew exactly what.
We didn't know. We didn't know.
We knew fucking
We knew.
Lemieux and fucking
Yeah.
Gretzky were going to go out and dominate.
We
Like,
didn't
give me a
know.
break.
We didn't know the other team.
No,
Right?
we didn't.
Right. So that.
Because they never could watch any sort of satellite feed
you're
ever.
saying it's mostly about Canada Russia here, but What about
And it was-
other teams?
Well, they were involved too.
so why not pick the Summit Series? That wasn't much better.
That's not a tournament, though.
How is that not a tournament?
It's just two teams. That's not a tournament.
Well, what is it then?
It's a series.
Yeah. So okay.
Well, that's true. You did say tournament.
All right, World Cup. Yeah, that's true. I guess it is technically not a tournament.
Because that's what Eamon wanted to pick when I told him about the question. He was like, "Oh, that goal that's on the wall." And I'm
Right.
like, "But it's not from a tournament."
Fair enough. Yeah, it's not.
The year is the only thing that's really relevant to my argument of, the fact that people were kind of forced to watch it. But
This is his best argument.
it's a great.
People who don't even like sports watch the Olympics.
They also watch the World Juniors.
I
It was on everywhere. When we were watching when we were at curling, they were fucking playing the World Juniors.
Kevin has a strong point against you, Dave. I have a hard time giving you the point.
Yeah.
His fucking thing
Just
doesn't
on
even
that.
make sense, Jeff. You can't give him the point.
No, I'm just saying.
You can't give him the point.
I'm
You
just
have to
saying,
give me the
what
point.
was so
By
good?
default.
What was so good about that tournament? From all the teams, it sounds like it was just Canada was fun to watch.
Canada and Russia. Canada and U.S.
Dave doesn't know because Dave was 5.
4.
He didn't actually see it. I saw the 2005 World Juniors.
I can't use that argument.
Yeah, he can't. Oh yeah, well, Kevin definitely has things to tell you about.
For Jody, like
Naked
your
wrestling.
tournament was like is one of the ones I thought of when I asked the question. But thinking back, it's like, that really wasn't one of the best tournaments. It was just like, it was one of the best teams. I think Kevin gets the point, man. Like, I'm sorry.
I think rightfully so.
What's going on?
Kevin made the best point.
Kevin was the only thing that I stood a chance against. It wasn't you.
I can't even think why Canada Cup is a special tournament other than those two guys pass to each other, and that's all they show you for that tournament.
Oh yeah, that's the only thing anybody knows about that tournament.
World Junior
is Lemieux and McCrisky were on the same team.
The World Junior, it was an amazing team, but it wasn't an amazing tournament. I bet you could pick a better World Juniors that was a better tournament over than why that team was really good or whatever.
Yeah.
And Kevin just made like the
Kevin made no points. I have no idea how he won the point.
So let's move on to history. Ding, ding, ding.
What was the question?
What would be the biggest difference today if Al Gore won the presidency in 2000?
I think it would be the U.S.'s involvement in climate change and trying to actually be a leader in reducing carbon emissions. Instead, they haven't done that. Under Bush, it was completely different. Mm-hmm. He's all for it. He's like, burn the coal, go nuclear. Who cares?
His dad's an oil baron, so
Yeah, oil baron. We all know Al Gore made the inconvenient truth. And
Well, you're telling the story. Wow, there it goes. He's already started. He's already fucked it up.
I just have to look at Kevin's face to see.
Kevin's just like
Dave's doing okay.
Kevin. Well, the best thing about that is I usually look at Kevin, and Kevin looks at me, and he's just got this fuck me eyes. Like he's got the, and not the like, hey Jody, I want you to jump me and be the top.
It's more like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's more of the wow, Dave, you're about to get raped. So I think Kevin was wondering if it was going to be me or him that was going to say something.
okay, so
What was the name of the movie again, Dave? Yeah. All right. Can we move on
It wasn't
now?
a movie.
the inconvenient truth.
Oh, okay.
Documentary.
A documentary. It won Academy Award, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Point for me. Okay.
And why is that a point?
Because
is
that's
this a movie
a very
category?
passionate thing about Al Gore, right? You acknowledge that?
Yeah.
Okay. So therefore, climate change would be a big deal
Well,
for
to
his
be fair,
presidency.
though, George W. Bush was really passionate about oil.
It definitely would be a big difference between
Huge
the
difference.
two,
Huge
two
difference.
presidencies for sure.
I don't know how the budget gets set up,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I win. Move on.
He's doing the Jody.
That was riveting.
Move on.
Drop the mic.
Mic drop.
We're not allowed to.
All right,
Dave
Kev.
will cry.
All right, Kevin. What would be the biggest difference if Al Gore got elected president?
I feel like there'd be no difference at all. Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like the president is really all that
Important.
The states would still be in debt. Billions of dollars, they would have just spent it trying to fight climate change instead of trying to fight Iraq. But today, it would be the same. Everything would be the same. I don't think that either president would have any. I don't think George Bush ran the fucking country. It's bullshit. He's not even. He was too dumb to do anything, for fuck's sakes. And I feel the same way about Al Gore. I think it doesn't matter. They're all just figureheads. They don't matter. There's the bureaucracy and behind the scenes. That's what gets things done or doesn't get things done. And No, that's it. It'd be nothing. I mean, the fucking collective after 9/11, everybody will say, well, they would never have invaded Iraq. I don't know that. I don't know that Al Gore wouldn't have done that because the whole of the United States was collectively fucking retarded at that time. If everybody remembers the anthrax scares and like they were just afraid of fucking everything. So blowing shit up seemed like a good idea. And that, who's to say that would be any different under Al Gore? I don't think it would be.
Solid. Jody?
I feel that Al Gore is actually a little bit smarter than, a lot smarter than George W. Bush, in my opinion. And I think with that intelligence would also come more, what's the word? Well, I'm a firm believer in thinking that they had, warnings before 9/11, and I think the bureaucracy or something got in the way, and whether that was George W. Bush or somebody else, that could be a change. Why are you taking a picture right now?
Instagram.
Fuck Instagram. We're doing a podcast.
Put it on Insta.
We have social media.
Whatever. Anyway, I'll give you some social media. You schlong bugger. Anyway,
all of us looking awesome with our.
The reason why I think I think 9/11 would have happened regardless, but I think they would have been more prepared. Maybe less people would have died. It could have been, it could have been avoided to what it was. What are you doing? Like tit shots now? Is that what we're doing?
I'm listening.
Christ. Obviously, you don't think that your argument is important at all because you're taking pictures right now.
No, I'm done.
No,
I was done.
You're done before you even started. But
I was just waiting for Jeff to give me the point.
I just feel that it would have been the preemptive things that they got ahead of time would have been taken more seriously. I think they might have had some fighters in the air, stuff like that. Al Gore to me doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's not going to spend the money. He's definitely not as tightwadded as Bush was, I think. Right. And Bush spent money on military. That's what he spent money on, and within reason. But it's it's still one of those things that I think Al Gore would make a better decision. Would the outcome be the same? Probably, but it might not have been as severe.
Okay. Debate.
Dave sucks. I'm going to go on record and say that.
I don't suck.
The three positions are...
Dave sucks?
What? What's your position?
My position is...
I don't know what he went on forever.
I'm not quite sure, actually.
3/4 of that banter was you fucking taking pictures of my tits for some strange reason.
Did I distract you? Is that why your answer sucks?
There hasn't been a terrorist attack.
Okay, so
that'd be like the best tactic
let me
they would
summarize.
ever have.
Let me summarize. I think it'll be... 9/11 would have been a little bit less drastic. I think the military budget wouldn't have been as high. And I think that could have even improved the economy for the Americans even more.
Okay, so the economy wouldn't have been as bad. The military wouldn't have been as
less military spending,
and less lives lost.
It would have been just as fucked. It just would have been spent. Their economy would have been just as fucked trying to fight climate change.
Well, and that's possible
because he would as Bush.
But I'm not even going on the climate thing.
What would you rather billions? Would you rather billions be spent on climate change or on military? Because I would much rather be on climate change.
A lot of people would rather military.
Yeah,
jobs.
Military, not climate change at all. Because I'm not entirely
military. Also, you got to remember 3/4 of what we have now was developed for the military first. There's
right.
so many things that we've gotten.
The internet.
Yeah,
military.
So that was for the military. All of that R&D that's going into the military is benefiting the single person as well. It's not just the country.
Do you know what we need?
A branch of the military.
We need to start.
It's a lot of trickle down shit from the military.
The NASA has been cutting funding quite a bit, and that's why they're pissed off.
If there was
and I'll tell you right now, Al Gore would have not canceled that shit.
If there was a space alien, we would fight it.
Where are you going now?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Do you want to win this point?
I do.
He doesn't even know what question we're on at this point.
I do.
Have some more scotch.
Here. Matt Damon shit in a bucket.
Drop some more scotch. Matt Damon, he fucking shit in a bucket, guys.
He'd throw it at those aliens and then grow some shit on their fucking head.
Actually, that's an even better question. Would Al Gore or George Bush spend the money to return Matt Damon? Who would spend the money?
Rot.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think Al
he was
Gore
all
would have went for
shitty
him.
from shitting in that bucket.
If I had to bet on one of them, Al Gore.
I would bet on Al Gore myself.
If I had to bet only one.
Yeah.
I think George Bush bring Al Gore home though too.
No, he wouldn't.
But you put an ultimatum to Kevin, and Kevin's saying no.
I don't think so.
If that boy,
I don't even remember now what the ultimatum.
if that boy was
but
from
it's-
okay, the answer, Jeff, is climate change and what he would have done for that.
he would have done nothing. Try to get it through Congress. Enjoy it.
Yeah,
he would have
that'll
done
never go through.
nothing.
They're not spending that kind of cash.
They look at Obama and the healthcare thing. Finally got it through, and it's a giant clusterfuck because it got eviscerated through the Congress.
oh, it got destroyed, put
So
back together,
it's,
destroyed
again,
again.
it goes back to my point of the president being basically irrelevant and useless.
Yeah.
Basically, it doesn't matter who's president.
No, I don't agree with that. I think there is some say still.
It only matters in the world and how people
Where is
think about it.
Dave on this argument?
What's up?
Just look around, and it's you two having like an intelligent conversation, and it's Dave going,
Well, to Dave's credit, I have dropped a half a bottle of scotch in front of him, so and he's enjoying it. So that might be why.
I have all you fuckers where I want you. You're going down. Okay.
You gotta knock Kevin and Jody down.
I don't think
Jeff,
you can.
they're fucking full of shit. Why don't you see this? Why can't you see that these two are
How are we full of shit?
They're so full of shit.
How are we full of
Yeah,
shit?
they're asking how.
Yeah, give it an
every
example.
way you can think of.
Like
fucking-
what? Give a specific example.
Like, one example would be.
Are you holding your cock right now?
I'm just scratching my balls.
Okay. Okay.
Let me have my dignity.
I don't know if you have your dignity.
We're not letting you have anything.
Wow.
So, Al Gore.
Yeah, why is climate change? Why would the
Why
world be
were we
different?
bullshit? Why are we
Oh, they're bullshit because everything they say is garbage.
Do you
Like
think
what?
do you think we would have like electric cars or anything like that?
Yes. I think
you-
we'd all be electric
carbon
cars.
tax?
I think Al Gore would have saved the world.
Oh, yeah, right.
Al Gore.
what?
Al Gore.
What's stopping
From ourselves.
What's stopping Al Gore right now from saving the world?
The presidency.
Why?
Because if he was president, he would use the internet to connect the world, and then he would
Only
shut
the
down.
president can use the internet?
Oh no.
Al Gore invented the internet. Everyone knows that.
The president who invented the internet can use the internet to like incredible powers. He has like technopathy, right?
Technopathy.
This is the one part of the show. Every time I always feel like it goes fucking off a cliff.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Yeah,
History
every
round.
What? By the time Dave's drunk?
History round is the round. It goes off the fucking.
We
it's
gotta
like
move history to
It's
the
an
end.
18-wheeler. Just
We gotta do wild card before that.
Can I get the point now?
Sure.
Yeah.
We have to move on eventually.
Kevin easily gets the point.
For sure. Oh, Dave, you can't qualify now.
Fuck you all.
Oh.
If I'm ever hosting,
You told me Al Gore had superpowers. Of course you lost.
I can't give you the point.
all right. If I'm ever host and you three are the contestants, you're all losing.
If I gave you the point, they would look at me like I just lost my mind. That's probably how they would look at me.
Well, yes, but you clearly would have at that
Well,
point.
Okay, we're going on to the wild card. What was the best use of an instrumental piece of music in a movie? And this time it's Jody. Or Kevin.
No, it's Kevin.
2 notes. Da-da.
Jaws.
Jaws. Because
Are you for real?
You get
What's
your
your
chance in
problem,
a bit. You just leave him be.
2 notes? That's not an instrumental piece of music.
Well, there was more to the music, you
Yeah.
jackass.
Well, then
That
it
was
goes-
the start of it.
And then it speeds up. That goes on.
and they had
That's
to do
it.
that. Yeah,
That's not a song.
an instrumental piece of music.
Yeah, that's all I said.
Not
It
a
is an
fucking
instrumental
song.
song.
Can be a song.
Do your stupid pitch, and then
your stupid pitch. He's like, the best instrumental is a supernatural TV movie.
Best use, they had to do it. It built tension in the movie. Without it,
cool.
that movie would not even be good. The
Without that-
shark was
without that.
fucking terrible. It didn't look real. So
Right.
to invoke that emotion that made that movie, without that emotion and the anticipation of the shark, that movie wouldn't even be good. But that makes the movie, and that's that music that makes it.
So you're basically saying Steven Spielberg is a terrible filmmaker, and he was saved by the music.
But
That's not actually what I said at all.
But that's kind of what you said.
No.
No, I don't
He
think
implied
I
it.
did.
He
But
implied
I
didn't really get
don't
it
think-
implied there.
I don't
I
think
kinda
that
see what Dave's
movie
saying.
would be half
Yeah.
as good without that music. I don't think that.
He's saying it would be kind of a B movie, like C movie.
Absolutely.
if it would
Which
not
Which
for
movie
that
are we
music.
talking about again?
Jaws.
Jaws.
It would have been a B
Without
movie.
without that music,
The mu-
basically Spielberg would
music
look like
It
scared
would
the
a
shit
not
out
have
of
been
people,
as
though.
big a movie as it eventually was.
Are you saying the acting's not kind of no good in it, or
Yeah, the acting's
It's
mediocre.
okay?
But that it's the music and it's the anticipation. It's the creating that emotion, which is what made
Well,
that
they use
movie
the
so
they use the
fucking big.
music. They use the music as the sound effect. It's actually kind of neat how they've done it, right?
Right.
Because they actually use kind of
and
you
they
know,
had
the
and they-
dun-it as the
they had to
anticipation.
because-
Almost, it's almost its own actor.
It's like a climax, and then psh, and then
And it
the
just gets you, yeah.
Jaws
But
attacks.
without it, if the shark just jumps out of the water without that, nobody.
It
fucking
wouldn't be
cares.
as scary.
Nobody cares.
That's true.
Well, it's interesting because like
It sets your emotions up.
yeah, right, like
It builds that anticipation.
Yeah, you already have that
better
kind
than
of
anything
angsty-
I've ever
angsty
seen.
kind of feeling.
do
Right?
horror movies usually do that? You know, like,
Some do, I think.
Yeah.
Not as
There-
well.
yeah,
Not as well.
There is some instrumental parts to like Texas Chainsaw Massacre
or like
that
a
would do
Jason
that kind of thing.
movie or Michael Myers or
Some of those did that, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, I just don't know. I'm not a big horror fan.
But they also the horror movies they rely on the gore and the
Right.
and they are B movies. They're not
Right. Oh, yeah.
major motion pictures like Jaws was.
Yeah.
Right.
So and then the music is what makes it.
Okay. Dave. Oh, it's Jody. Sorry.
All right. What's the question again? What are we doing?
Best piece of instrumental music
I've
in a movie.
I've had a little bit.
Yep.
Sorry, best instrumental piece. Oh, I picked I picked kind of the go-to, but let's be honest, we all probably at least thought of it anyway.
Dave's staring at me. I don't know why.
He's using the Dave sexy eyes too. That's the worst part. So,
I think it's disadvantage Jake was last. Sorry.
yeah, for sure. I picked the Imperial March, better known as Darth Vader's theme. John Williams, London Symphony Orchestra. Yeah, absolutely. And every time you hear that, you know you're in for some Darth Vader action. He's going to show up. He's going to be a dick. It's going to be fun.
Darth Vader is a whiny emo punk.
In the originals, which the Imperial March, actually, I don't even know was used in the first three.
In fact, it
prequel.
was. It was.
I don't
u-
think it was in
In
there.
fact, it was.
Where was it used? Where was
Tell
it
us,
used?
Dave.
It was used in all three movies.
Really? When?
In
In
episodes
scenes-
1, 2, and 3?
And
Yeah,
scenes
oh, yeah.
1 through and 3
They were
with
using-
scenes with Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah,
Is there?
they used it a lot. Yeah.
Can't remember.
Even
Yeah.
the young Anakin
Because it's-
Skywalker.
I was
You
trying to
are
get
right.
all three of those movies out of my
It's,
mind.
it's his theme from the beginning.
It's Darth
Dun,
Vader's,
dun,
right?
dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. It's Anakin's theme, and
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I do remember like a kind of a modified version.
it's not even the
but it
Darth,
was
it's,
the
not,
same
it's not
thing.
even the
Yeah.
Imperial March. It's basically Anakin's music.
And then Duel of Fates is kind of like the new right? Like
Right.
But the Imperial March, obviously, we heard it first in episode 4, which was 1 at one point. But I just think it's a powerful piece of music. We all know what it is. Fucking they sell the ringtone of it. People still use it. But every time you hear that, I actually saw an ad recently for the EA Battlefield. I think you have it as well, Battlefront or whatever, the new one. I have it on the PS4. And it's even the trailer for that game, they used it, and it was just all black, and all you heard was nothing for a second, and then all of a sudden, dun, 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 and you instantly knew, like, fucking Darth Vader showing up. This is cool. But it was cool that they used it even in like a trailer that really had nothing to do with Darth Vader other than he's a playable character in the game, right? So I just think it's a powerful piece of music. It's very universally known. Like, you can play that theme pretty much anywhere in the world, and someone's probably going to know it. You know what I mean? So I just think it's a powerful piece.
all right, Dave.
I picked the scene from Goodfellas.
All right, you're done. All right, so let's move on.
Classic Jody. Classic Jody. All right.
I
you-
even do it when I'm hosting. Yeah, you're done.
All right. All I do is like say what I'm about to explain, and he fucking comes out and he's like, "All right, you're done. You're done."
really like your pick.
Yeah, he's like, "That was about
didn't
the
like your
stupidest thing. They could have kept out of your fucking mouth."
Dave, just
right?
out of curiosity, how many times have I been wrong?
Well, you somehow
gonna go with never
I
on that
actually
one.
get convinced by the end of your rants. Yeah, I was like, I was kind of fucking stupid, wasn't I?
I'm doing my job.
How he wins.
That's how I win.
Okay, so I picked the scene from Layla and Goodfellas where it's like, the piano solo, which is no instrument, like no vocals, right?
Yeah, it's the second half of Layla.
And they actually brought Eric Clapton in to
do what?
To record that live, like over the movie, right? So you can play.
That's not the song. Like that's not the
they
recording?
recorded it specifically for that movie, that version.
So it's a different.
So
recording.
yeah, they're playing that whole song, right? But like when it gets to that
Most
instrumental,
people aren't gonna know
they're
it,
watching the screen as it's scrolling along, so you can play the notes at the speed you need to play them at, right?
So it's an instrumental video as well.
Yeah,
it's
instrumental.
Why do we care?
It's the whole montage about the whole Lufthansa heist, right? And how Jimmy Conway, or Jimmy Burke, as he is in real life, decided to kill off all these different gangsters at the end because he didn't want to give them their share of the money. So
What does this have to do with the fucking score?
It's an instrumental piece of music.
All right.
It's not a score.
It's an instrumental piece of music to a fucking piece of a movie.
Yeah, a movie that. Let's.
Why are you giving me shit for this?
Let's be honest here. Kevin and I have both picked pieces of music that are pretty much universally known. You could hear a Muzak version of that in an elevator, and you would know our music. No one's gonna know that.
That's not true. I
okay,
wouldn't say that.
Layla is
I
fucking
couldn't
known.
pick that out,
Yeah.
and I've seen Goodfellas
That-
a couple times, and I still couldn't pick that
A
out.
couple of times. I've watched that movie more than any movie I've ever watched in my entire life. That is my favorite movie. If I'm deserted on a stranded island, it's fucking Goodfellas, and I can tell you why because it's got
deserted on a stranded
because
island.
I had to pick a specific scene from that movie, and that is my favorite scene from that movie. But like Goodfellas is like the greatest soundtrack ever devised. But
You are on drugs.
Martin Scorsese is a fucking genius, man.
Drugs.
Like he creates a
Just
movie.
take the cork
He
off the
picks
fucking
certain
Scotch bottle. You don't know what the
so
fuck
you
you're
can have
talking about.
certain types of
Insert it directly
movies
in
to
your
those,
anus.
right?
Right.
And
Do you know what piece of music I would have picked?
Not that.
I would have picked at the end of the Inception. There's that song. Like,
Oh yeah. I know.
I
what
would
you're
have
talking
picked
about.
that song. That song was really like.
That's
there's
cool
no
song.
words for like 3 minutes, and
Yeah.
that song's playing, and you don't care.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
watching it. Yeah.
But that's what I would.
That would have been a way better pick than Dave. I agree.
why does everyone pick on me?
I don't.
Because you're terrible.
I don't think I didn't know the factoid that they re-recorded that song for that part of the movie, so that's kind of cool. But like,
I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick.
I wouldn't be able to pick
It's
it out.
not as
it's
iconic
not.
as
Did,
either.
did I
definitely
not?
not
Did
as
I not
iconic,
argue
but-
it? Okay.
No, why is it not as iconic? I mean, in film history, would you say Jaws is way more iconic than Goodfellas? I think as
No.
a blockbuster,
I
a lot of people
guess,
would say so, but
but
not as a film.
I think that music
You know?
from Jaws, though,
The music
it
is,
goes
though.
with it. People know.
Okay,
it,
for
right?
me, I'm biased, right? Goodfellas is my favorite movie. So that particular song and that particular scene.
You've
that-
masturbated to. I get it, but that's not the point.
What is the point, Jody?
You wanted to know what the best instrumental music was from a movie, did you not?
yeah. What was
You picked
best
the
use?
fucking Anakin Skywalker.
We
theme.
both picked music.
You
that
picked
is
a fucking
universally
whiny
known.
emo Jedi bitch with a little braid running down his side of his
Let me
head.
try and knock this down real simple. Your music shows up when Darth Vader shows up. Your music shows up
When Jaws
when a
shows
fucking
up.
shark is about to eat something.
Yep.
His music is a montage of one scene, right? So it's like a montage of a bunch of like
It's a
killings that happened in history or whatever that he's reshowing.
This is based on a true story.
My point is their two choices are reused a lot. Yours is in one singular like moment, right?
Yeah. Well, like it's at least 4 different deaths or 5 different deaths that you see.
Yeah, like they kill like 5 or 6 people.
It ends with the guy in the truck,
Yeah, that struck. Yeah.
right? And then it cuts away and goes, "Still, I never saw Jimmy so happy. We were making lots of money off our cocaine, and everything was going really well. So we were pretty happy. We killed all those guys, and we were just out at a diner eating lunch."
And isn't
Still
that
not as iconic.
Isn't that
Still not
Isn't that
best.
what he says though? Like, and then that's when I knew he wanted to kill me.
No, that was later.
Oh.
But right after that, it was like then they kill Joe Pesci, right?
Oh, right. That's
I
what
feel like your music is part of a great movie, and it's a good scene and it's a solid pick, but my music saves a mediocre movie.
Okay, and your movie is your music
Lightsabers and Darth Vader.
is Darth Vader.
They're still part of the universe, even though I don't agree with them. I think
I'm
they suck.
giving Dave the point here.
Really?
I got redemption, boys. I don't go to the speed round, but I'm still I got around.
I'm absolutely dead last.
He's gonna do a fucking victory lap now.
You know what? I'm personally pleased because at least I'll be able to put one round
I'd like to
into
thank
my
Jesus
stats.
and my mom.
And Kanye West.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
And my next kid's gonna be named South by Southwest.
And I'm not a gay fish. All right, we're going into the speed round. Dave's out because
he sucks.
He made incoherent points in
And he
a whole bunch
sucks.
of categories.
I just won the last round.
And he sucks.
I said in
That was a pity
in
round,
the
and you know it.
no, well, I felt like he.
Shut up! It's a pity round. It was funny.
Shut up, you! It was much better than his 5th round outing,
Let's
which was
not break his.
probably the
best
worst I've heard
Instagram.
on this show. That's saying something. I mean, we've had Chris.
Whoa!
I'm being compared to Chris.
That's a low blow.
Well, Chris, at least, like.
You mean the guy that tells you how to run a podcast but has never heard one? That Chris?
He doesn't listen to podcasts?
No.
That's
He
funny.
refuses.
Like, you know what you should
He
do?
won't even listen to this one.
He doesn't have the time or the desire.
That's what he said. Yes, I don't have the time or the desire to listen to this show. And I was
Doesn't-
like, fuck you, Chris.
You're on it.
Doesn't he sit on the bus to go to
Yeah.
work every day? Isn't
Yeah.
that a lot of time?
just okay.
Yeah,
but
that's about an hour,
think
hour and
about
a
Chris for a second. Think about his face. Right. Now think about it on a bus.
Yeah.
Like on the bus or just riding?
Does Chris put on the headphones to listen to trivial debates? Probably not.
What does he do? Just sits there and
Because he'll
stares?
end up being
What do you think?
he'll end
Probably
up being
listens.
the crazy
He probably
guy
listens
yelling
to
into
Helix over
Yeah,
and over
no, he's
again.
probably listening to some like crazy
Helix.
music. and,
and
I always
the other
think
guys.
of, every time I hear Helix, I think of Bubbles. Give me a fucking R.
Okay. All right.
Speed round.
Speed round. Movies. What is the best scene set around New Year's Eve, New Year's Day bullshit? Like in a movie.
I'm gonna go with the movie Strange Days.
Okay. So
I'm
from heaven.
thinking, and I'm hoping that I'm right. When Harry Met Sally, there's one.
I
right?
think you're right about that. Yeah.
The final scene, I think.
Yeah.
is all around
Yeah, I think
New
that
Year's.
is
So
at the
I'll go
end.
with that one.
Okay.
All right. Oh, Strange Days. You've never heard of that movie, really?
No, who's in it?
One of the Fiennes boys. I think it's Ralph Fiennes. Yeah, Ralph Fiennes and Juliette Lewis. Basically, the movie is about. It takes place in the future, and it's about the fact that they can record. They can record things essentially through memories, through people's eyes. They can record them to these devices, but you can also play back other people's. So you can play back and experience that memory, I guess.
Kind of like The Sixth Day, like that movie.
Yeah, but this was before. This was made in like 95, I think.
Okay.
But the movie takes place on New Year's Eve, and the guy has to get he basically is this kind of hustler of these recordings. So people can go to him and get like a recording from a famous person or something like that. Well, he ends up getting a recording of somebody getting killed. And he sees it and goes, holy shit, I just saw it, because they could see the murder happen because it was a memory that was recorded. And then the entire movie is basically to try to find out the truth of that. And it does take place on New Year's Eve, which happens to be like there's other time events and stuff that are going to happen. But it's set place in the future, so obviously you have these devices that can record and all that stuff now. But overall, it was just kind of a cool movie, and it was built on it being New Year's, because when things change over, things would happen.
All right. Well, I picked When Harry Met Sally because that's. I mean, the whole movie comes to that point. They're these two friends that are obviously in love through the whole movie. It's a funny movie. It's a good movie. I like it.
It's a rom-com.
Yes, one of the originals, I think.
I think kind of invented it.
And then the whole movie comes to that point where they realize that they are meant to be together. Anyway, that's all I got.
3 by
Dave,
the way. For him.
what's your vote? What do you think?
Oh, definitely Kevin. Jody sucks
Of course,
balls.
because I told him that he could kiss
Jody
my-
sucks.
I told him to fuck himself.
Really, Jody gets the point.
There you go. Ha ha, Dave Mader. How do you feel now?
Awful.
Good.
Lost again.
Your vote was your vote was a vote out of bias and prejudice.
Why do I get... Why do you hold that against me?
TV?
Okay.
Who will win the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Drama Series? And I'll give you this year. And I will give you the 5 nominees.
Okay.
Okay, good.
John Hamm in Mad Men. Rami Malek. I forget the show he's in. One sec. Rami Malek, who's on the show.
He's
Mr.
the hacker
Robot.
kid, yeah.
Right. Wagner Molina for playing Pablo Escobar in Narcos.
That was a good performance.
Okay.
Bob Odenkirk for Saul in Better Call Saul. Liev Schreiber as Ray Donovan in Ray Donovan. And
I'm going to go with the Narcos guy.
I don't know how to say the guy's name, but from Mr. Robot, I'll pick that one.
I've actually only seen one episode of Narcos.
Oh, yeah?
It was.
I haven't watched the whole
Jack, give me
thing,
the
but
point.
I know that
Jack,
that's going to
give
be
me
a
the
solid
point.
fucking show and
It is
a
very
solid fucking
solid.
performance
Yeah.
from that guy. Like,
Mr. Robot only has one season right now, but they
I don't know anything about
I
this
don't know
show.
anything about it.
Okay, so the premise essentially is that you got this kid who works for a security firm and he can hack computers and all this shit, and he gets basically in kind of like an anonymous kind of a way, you know, like a little hacker group kind of thing. And what ends up happening is Kristen Slater's character is like some bigwig in this hacker group, for instance, and he calls upon him to do like covert op shit and stuff like that. It's an interesting show. I don't think it's to me it's not the greatest show on TV, but it's a very solid performance. Like you totally believe this guy. This guy, you know, he had a heroin issue and now he's, you know, hacking computers for a living and shit like that. And it's, you know, he's kind of like he's kind of a neutral character, which makes him interesting because you would think, well, he's either a hacker for good or a hacker for bad. He's really just a hacker for hire. He doesn't really care one way or the other. So you don't have all the like, oh, you know, he's going to take the moral high ground or the low ground or whatever. I don't want to take any more time.
We're going
very solid
timers and
performance.
bells. You brought it to this level, Jody. We thought we could be civilized men, but you proved we can't.
I am going to punch you right in the tit. You're a little man boob there. I'm going to hit you.
Okay, so I think we're good. Dave, who do you think?
Kevin.
I agree. I think Kevin as well. But I think yours is still out of spite.
I think so.
Very much so. I honestly,
I don't even think he was listening to
I would
anything we were
have. I would have
saying.
picked that. I honestly would have picked that. He got to it first.
And I said that because, yeah, you even admitted,
I
like,
would've
oh,
picked
man,
it.
that show was so good. And
Yeah,
I
it
can't
was-
wait
it
for
was
the
a good
next
show.
one. And okay. This will be an interesting one. For music. The question that was the
Maybe
band
sounds great.
versus the Beatles.
You want me to argue?
Yeah.
The fucking Beatles are better than the band.
Yeah.
You just deep throated the
Well,
mic.
I don't know why the band is better because I
Because
don't know
it
anything
isn't.
from the band. But I can
Exactly.
tell you that the Beatles
You know who the
is
Beatles
the
are.
most overrated band in the world.
Oh, that's not going to go well with
Go
our
with
host,
that.
I can tell
Use
you.
the hate.
Overrated.
Use the dark side.
Use the dark
I tried, honestly. I honestly tried to listen to their discography just to fucking get it. And I didn't get it when
I
it was
think
done.
they had
I'm
some
like, I
very
don't-
influential
they
music,
had a
but
couple
I don't
of
think
good
they're the best
fucking
band.
songs, but when you write 5,000 of them, you're going to have a couple that are decent.
Of course.
And I don't understand.
They
the
were a
Beatles.
music
I don't
factory, let's be
understand
honest.
Why they're
They're
popular.
very good for that.
I don't understand. And the band, I can't even argue for them. I don't.
I
fucking know.
clearly understand why the
So
Beatles
I
are.
don't care who wins the point. I'm just saying.
Right.
I want to get it out there that the Beatles is the most overrated band ever to walk the face of the fucking planet.
I think they're very highly rated, and I don't think they deserve everything that they've gotten, but they still deserve what they've got for the most part. Because it's still, even though I don't care for their music, I think their music's terrible for the most part. I can still respect them as a band.
All right, Kevin gets the point.
He fucking.
So if Kevin wins the next round, he wins the game.
I believe so. Yeah.
All right.
Uh-oh.
All right, sports. Who will be better in 5 years? Jack Eichel or Connor McDavid?
Connor
Do
McDavid.
you want my help on this?
No.
We're talking about hockey, by the way.
So you get Jack Eichel. You got to go first, Jody.
Connor McDavid, I think, is going to be in a couple of years. He's going to be quite a player, and he's having the first season jitters right now, and I think that's part of
Well, he's
what
hurt.
he's still playing great, and he's hurt now. Yeah, obviously.
They're
You're
both gonna suck ass.
this year. They're definitely
They're both going to suck ass?
Yeah, they're both gonna
together?
suck, yeah.
Suck each other's ass?
I don't know about that.
kind of like a human centipede kind of thing.
Yeah.
but they're
Ooh.
both gonna suck.
Kevin, Kevin, you have to try.
No, I don't have to
I think
try.
I-
I don't
I
know.
think
I
I've
don't
won
even.
this
I
one.
didn't even know what sport they were playing.
Kevin,
I don't have to try.
It's good for you that you're better at the earlier rounds because when you get to sports, you kind of fall apart.
Yeah.
I think I get that
Th-
one. I
this-
don't want to be like a dick about it,
This
but
one's easy.
yeah, no shit.
Fucking
yeah,
Kevin.
I think I got that.
Jody gets the point because Kevin doesn't. Get.
I don't know. I don't even know.
I'm
I didn't
holding
even know
out.
what sport they played. Like I.
Oh,
asked.
that's your disadvantage.
I'm trying to help Kevin. He doesn't even want my help.
Okay.
Who would win in a boxing fight, Dave or Jody?
Me for sure. I'd make him my bitch.
Take me.
Don't ever say that to me again.
He has
That alone.
Especially in that voice.
So Jody Jody argues for himself, which I'm
argue
sure
for-
he enjoys.
There's no better subject in my mind.
You have no choice but to take me.
Jesus Christ, don't say that to me ever again. Yeah, just when I don't think he can make it worse.
This might go to a tiebreaker.
I want to just state right now for the record that did make it worse. Yeah, for sure.
You have no choice but to
I am
take
so
me.
glad I wasn't
Oh
on the
my
receiving
God.
end on that one.
Oh my god.
Oh, you're gonna have nightmares about that. Dave Mader spreading your ass cheeks.
You can't make that your text message. You have to take me.
Take me. You have to take me. You have no choice. Dave, the very polite rapist.
All right, Jody. Why would you win in a boxing fight?
Because I'd kick his ass.
in a boxing fight, not in,
Oh, in a boxing fight.
That's what it is. A boxing
No,
fight.
it's a boxing fight.
Don't help me, Dave.
I think I have much greater upper body strength. I'm a fat guy. I've had to carry them around.
I don't
for a
need to
while.
defend myself. I just need my champion to defend me.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
You're champion.
Defend my honor.
Who's your honor?
Kevin, defend my honor.
He can't.
Who would win in a boxing match?
I would
I
clearly
think
kick the crap out of you on that.
Dave would win in a boxing match because Dave would follow the format and Jody would fight dirty and get disqualified.
Oh, that's not a bad theory. though.
Solid answer.
That is a pretty solid answer, I have to admit. But
Rebuttal?
I think I'd play by the rules most of the time, except for Dave Mader.
He's lying.
Not if you're fighting Dave Mader.
No, I totally would. If we were in boxing is a pride. It's a pride
Yeah.
thing, and you know what? If you cheat, you just turn into absolute
you-
dirt
you
in that community.
Punch him right in the balls.
No, I wouldn't.
mean-
He's fucking doing jazz hands
I know,
right
he
now.
was doing
Okay,
jazz
like
hands.
come on. Even Kevin can't argue the jazz hands, and I know that for sure.
I think he'd go into one of these routines and you wouldn't be able to hit him.
Well, since Dave's biased, he can't really give me. Of course, he would say he would win, and of course, Jody would say he would win. So
I'm not
I'm
gonna
going to
hit you
give
at all.
Jody the point, and now I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to let Dave ask the last tiebreaker question.
Thank you, Jeff.
Oh fuck! Is it even going to be coherent?
What
It's a wild card category. What drug would you rather do? Weed or shrooms?
Weed.
Oh,
Okay.
they both said different things.
He said he came in
I
first.
guess
so.
that was a good
Sure.
question.
Shrooms is more fun. Weed makes me kind of fucking paranoid. I don't talk much. I don't find it that fun. Fucking shrooms, you have just a wee bit of booze with that shrooms, and you are fucking good, and you're good.
So the only way this drug is good
no,
is if you
it's
enhance
good
it.
without. It's good without.
No, it
It's
isn't.
fucking
I've been
great
on
without.
shrooms.
I
It sucks.
love shrooms.
It's good for like
So
5
good.
minutes.
I think people.
I think it's
mistakenly-
really a personal preference anyway, because shrooms are going to be different to you than they are to me, and same thing with weed. I actually don't get paranoid at all with weed.
No, yeah, I
Doesn't-
do. But
doesn't
the
affect me at all.
Shrooms give you a great kind of body buzz.
Shrooms,
or
actually, I was a
whatever.
bit
It's
paranoid
not
on.
really-
I think it depends on the weed. Big like.
Oh, yeah,
for
whether
me,
it's
it
a-
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Some
matter.
people are
doesn't
just
matter.
like that though, and they
Yeah.
just don't process
If
it.
I have if I have like 5 beers and then smoke some weed, I'm fine. But no, shrooms is cheaper. It lasts longer and it's a better buzz.
It
It's a
doesn't
bu-
last
it's a-
longer, in my
It's
opinion,
a body
but-
buzz. It's great.
I got like
Feels good.
2 hours
Poison ivy
max
is the
out of
only
it.
thing that fucking cured me of fucking this poison ivy that I had. It was hell having this shit. Took some shrooms. Fucking no, I didn't care anymore. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but it's still every drug that has a different effect on people, and I think for me, weed is definitely a much better choice. Weed, I don't have to worry about any of the for me anyway. Like I actually got a bit paranoid on mushrooms, but it wasn't bad. Like it was a good thing, but I don't have any need to do it again. And same thing with weed. I don't have to do it, but I certainly enjoy it. So
I find shrooms stronger. And
shrooms are definitely
and-
stronger, but that's what I rather have a
and
steady,
I
nice thing
always
going
have
than
a
an
much-
intense thing once in a
I
while.
always have a much better night if I've done shrooms. I always have a lot more fun, and I don't feel Well, I don't feel paranoid or tired ever. Like you're awake.
Oh, I wasn't
for a
tired.
while.
I was awake.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's more of a kind of an upper than a downer. It seems.
Right.
I don't find weed a downer though. To me, it is.
There's a
anyway.
burnout. There's all,
Yeah.
but there's any drug. There's an up and there's a down.
Well,
There's always an up
and with
and down.
shrooms, there is a burnout, but it's
Yeah.
it's
Takes
farther
takes 8
into the
hours.
future.
It takes a while to get it out of
hours.
you.
You're talking acid now for 8 hours.
yeah, true.
About 4 hours.
yeah.
What drug is better?
Better. Yeah.
What drug is better, weed or shrooms?
What kind of a
Weed has much more better
What-
medicinal
what-
properties.
You know what? You decide because I don't know what you're basing
Yeah.
this
I
on.
will
Let him
decide.
Maybe.
Well-
Is he going to be unbiased? Are you going to be unbiased?
I'm gonna be unbiased.
Bullshit. Chill.
I have my decision.
Okay.
Jody wins.
What?
Really? I thought Kevin was good. Because of your bias.
Well, you're still the guy that has to.
Oh, I feel like I got
Uh-huh.
robbed the last
I agree.
question. But that's okay.
Oh, does that mean I win?
Yeah, that means you
Yeah.
win.
Holy shit, I won again.
Because of me.
I'm actually surprised, Dave. But I hope that's not the only reason.
I want to thank everyone for joining us on this episode of Trivial Debates. This was the first episode we had.
He's the host, eh? You know that, right?
I know, but he sucks.
Dave always does this.
Wait. This was the first show that we had
Oh my god, it's just like Dave.
with the new
This is
setup.
killing me. I
A
have to
new
pee.
soundboard. A new
Why do you
set
wanna do
of
this to Kevin?
microphones and mic stands.
We do sound sexy, though. Especially me.
This has been another edition of Trivial Debates.
I'm Dave.
Also, Dave Mader.
I'm also Dave Mader.
And I'm Dave Bader signing off as host of Trivial Debates. This is Dave doesn't have friends. This
He
is
just runs around to each microphone doing a voice.
he runs around. He
I have
did
very good impressions.
There's an algorithm later on that he switches the voices. and-
Yeah, he does, yeah.
All right, are we done? Jesus fucking
Go take a
Christ.
piss.
This has been this week of Trivial Debates. We'll see you on the flip side.
The flip
Did
side?
you seriously just
The
fucking
flip
say
side.
that?
The fucking flip side?
No, tell him.
Are you
tell,
fetus fucking fly trap?
I don't even have to pee anymore.
No, tell,
What the fuck?
What's that? Tell him what you used to sign off with.
Oh.
Keep on keeping on.
That's what he used to sign off
Keep
with.
on, keep it on.
Okay, bye everyone. We'll see you on the flip side.
Wow, you should tighten up them wrists.
What flip side?